Hi guys, this is Radhika here again, and I hope you all are doing well. So, this video is how to get over saying sorry a lot. I have been through this phase when the narcissists are around you, and when you don't know about what is going on. You don't know about NPD, you don't know about this disorder, you don't know all these terms, flying monkeys, and things like that. So at the time, you kind of see them as just people, right? I mean, they are just people even now, but now you know more about them, you know more about their mental condition. But at the time, you just feel like they are normal functioning people with good mental faculties. So it happens that when suddenly everyone tries to, like brainwash you and say that something is wrong with you, um, it happens that you say sorry a lot. And that's a phase, especially if you are an empath, you will trust their word. And if a lot of them are saying the same thing, you will trust them and you will buy into what they are selling you, buy into the image of you that they are selling you. And sometimes someone who's very close to you might also say this to you. So it becomes very confusing. Like, you do internalize a lot of those things. This is a phase that people on the receiving end of narcissistic abuse go through. And it kind of gets to a point where the person who's at the receiving end of all the hatred from the narcissist and their family, or it could be a narcissist at work, or it could be your spouse, any person who's NPD and who's on the further end of the spectrum. Maybe not malignant to the sense of like physically being abusive, but mentally abusive. So it becomes very, very difficult, because it becomes even more difficult when they have a bunch of recruited flying monkeys, which also make you feel this way. And most of the time, narcissists do have like a group of, flying monkeys around them. It will get to a point where this person will feel so useless that you will feel sorry just for existing. You will feel like just by existing, you are imposing your presence on someone, on the people around you. And especially if you, in that phase, if you don't have a support system, if you don't have some friends outside of this narcissistic clan who you meet on, like a regular basis, or you don't have any, what do you say, any reflection to your behavior from other places, it becomes very, very confusing. Um, so this happens because the narcissist and the flying monkeys, either directly or indirectly, maybe some of it is very, very subtle, but they will attack each and every action that you do, thought that you have, opinion, idea, any move that you do, any decision, anything. Basically, simply your breathing will also cause a problem to the narcissist. And it's actually a lot of hatred that they have inside of them, but now they have found a target for the hatred, which is the person on whom they are unloading the hatred. So actually, it has nothing to do with the person, it has nothing to do with the person's actions, it has nothing to do with anything that they are attacking. The problem is inside the narcissist, the problem is inside the flying monkeys. But because they project it onto the person whom they are unloading it on, that person will start feeling like the problem is in me, because everyone is telling that person the same thing in different ways. So it becomes very confusing. And it kind of becomes like you against the world. And it's a very lonely phase, because you stop trusting the people around you, so you do not tell this to anyone. And so what happens is, this person can start, if this is happening over a period of time, this person can start internalizing all the failures that the narcissist is telling them that they have done to be real failures, to be real failures. So they start doubting every decision that they take, and they start doubting everything that they are thinking, and they say sorry a lot. And this is because they really do feel sorry for existing. They feel like they are a big load on the narcissist, their family, or just in general to live. They feel like, why am I even living? And maybe it doesn't reach that phase, you don't even know it yet that you are feeling that, but the manifestation of that is just being sorry all the time. You're just feeling sorry, and there's no exact reason for why you are feeling sorry. So yeah, so this was happening with me too. I was saying sorry for everything, and in my case it was when I was a new mom. So I was actually unsure of a lot of things, although, like, it's not like I was unsure, because I used to do a lot of research before doing anything. So I would ask the doctor, I would read it on Baby Center, on all the forums, etc. But the narcissist and their family, they kind of made me look like, oh, this is like a modern woman who's always like going to the internet to get all her solutions. And they would always say like, oh, so every solution is simply Google this, simply Google that. But that's the way I am. I try to find my own answers. And maybe if I was born like 20 centuries ago, I would go to a library and open books and read about it. But basically, the narcissist and their family, they wanted me to follow their ways of doing things, which I did many times, but I always like cross checked them, just to know that what I'm doing is right. So I was in that phase where I was not so sure. And on top of that, even my partner was kind of like doubting everything I did, and kind of like cross questioning and stuff like that. So, and just for me as a new mom, it is a phase when you don't know things. It's a new thing to take care of a baby. So yeah, for me, it was that phase in my life. Although I actually internally, I always knew that I am doing the best that I can. And that's the thing. Sometimes when you know you are doing the best that you can, then you really have to disregard everyone's opinion. And it's a learning, it comes with time, because we have been taught that we have to kind of listen to the people around us. And that's a productive thing to do unless you are surrounded by narcissists. So you would have seen this in schools when you had like team activities. It is helpful to listen to people. Diverse opinions are really good. That's why we, even in companies nowadays, they push for diverse cultures and diversity so much, because everyone has a different opinion. And it's really good to look at things from different ways, but not when you are near narcissists, because narcissists have a different agenda. They will show you that they want good for the project or something like that, but they don't. All they're doing is they're trying to push their ego and push their issues onto you. So yeah, so for me it was a very difficult phase, and I was saying sorry a lot. But of course, at the time I did not realize I am saying sorry. But I did feel like, oh, I'm a big load on these people, because they made me feel that way. But I was not of the opinion that I will, if some people can go in the suicidal kind of mode with this, because yeah, just because that is the phase of mind that you are in. But for me, I was not in that phase of mind, because I had a son, and I knew that he is my responsibility and I'm going to take care of him. I was very clear on that. But yeah, I was kind of feeling like, if I'm a load on these people, and if they are not realizing that what they are doing, then I might as well step away. That was my solution. So my solution was not to kind of harm myself. But I know for a lot of people, if you are in this kind of a company, it can go to such an extent that you feel sorry for existing, and you go into that suicidal mode. You feel like, maybe I should just end my life. But that's not the solution. That's not, because don't end your life because of some stupid people who are projecting a lot of their internal things onto you. It's not worth it. It's not worth dying for such people. So yeah, so basically for me, I realized this for the first time, that I'm saying sorry a lot, when I was speaking to a friend of mine and I called him to vent. And I was venting, venting, venting. And after that, I said, I'm sorry, I'm, like saying so many bad, negative things to you and this and that. And he told me, you know what? No, don't be sorry. And that was the changing point for me. He literally told me, don't be sorry, you don't need to be sorry. And that's when it all clicked. It clicked for me that I don't need to be sorry. Why am I being sorry? And so yeah, so that's what I would tell you if you are also feeling sorry, that don't be sorry for existing. Creation wanted you to be in existence. Narcissists are not creation. In fact, they are the opposite of creation. They are destruction. But you have been created. Maybe the narcissist is your parent and they created you because, creation works that way. But don't be sorry for existing. You are here for a purpose. Otherwise, you would not be here. If there was no purpose of you to be here, creation would have taken you away a long time ago. But because you are here, you are meant to be here in this moment. You are meant to be here. So yeah, so basically that stuck with me. And then I started analyzing that, why am I saying sorry so much? I should not. And the reason you say sorry too much is you trust the narcissist, the flying monkey's words. You trust their judgment. You trust, basically, whatever they are saying, to some level you are trusting it and you are internalizing it. So the solution is to stop doing that. Stop trusting the narcissist. Stop trusting their words. Stop trusting the flying monkeys. And maybe you have made some mistakes which the narcissist point out and make it really bloated and big. But you know what? That's okay. No one is perfect. No one in this world is perfect. And making mistakes is a part of life. If you don't make mistakes, you don't grow. And so forget all the people who are always pointing out your mistakes, because they don't know how to live life. They are actually always pointing out their own mistakes internally. That's their internal dialogue. That's why when they speak outside, it's the same thing. They criticize, criticize, criticize. And it's the same internally. They criticize, criticize, criticize. It's the same thing. What goes inside goes outside. So when someone is criticizing you a lot, just understand that this person also criticizes themselves a lot. It's not like they just criticize you. It's like what's internal is coming outside, only they project it on you now instead of criticizing themselves. So yeah, so the solution to this problem is, again, how to stop trusting them, how to stop taking them seriously. The solution is, again, self love. So you need to start honoring yourself, nourish yourself. And when you do that, your boundaries will automatically come up. It's not like you have to bring them up. When you have a lot of self love, your boundaries are bound to be there, because that's how you self love. And you don't even have to, uh, purposely do anything for your boundaries. All you need to focus on is self love. Am I treating myself right? And by right, I don't mean selfish. It's not always the extreme, it's the balance. You know that this is good for you, you know that this is bad for you. So you remain in that space of balance. Try to maintain yourself there. Don't become selfish, and don't become so selfless that you feel like a doormat or you feel like a trash can. Don't go that extreme, but remain in this balance of self love, where you are fulfilled and you are giving to others. And by others, I don't mean narcissists, I mean people whom you love and just the world in general. You are giving something back in a kind and good way. But not to the narcissist, because some people, they don't need it, they don't, they won't accept it. Even if you give it to them, they will not accept it. So yeah, so you will have to kind of also stop yourself from saying sorry, because sometimes it can be like a programming or a conditioning, so you do it, unconsciously. So you will have to stop, yourself from going into the pleaser syndrome, and you will have to, go no contact, or if you cannot, go gray rock, less as possible. And you will have to like put up like a well guarded and defiant front in front of the narcissist, because till now maybe you have been acting as a people pleaser. You have been pleasing them, giving them their narcissistic supply, giving them praise, adulation, etc., what all they needed. So now you have to, stop that supply, and you will need to like act like a samurai, like a samurai warrior who's not attacking, but if needed, you can defend yourself. So you always need to be like ready with your sword, but also at ease. And also, so it's a very difficult thing to do, because it's kind of like asking for so many things. But that's how samurai warriors were. They were very easygoing, free, or at least that's what I have in my mind. I have not studied them exclusively, but they are people with a lot of focus, a lot of self restraint, and very, very balanced. So they don't abuse the power that they have. They don't abuse um, their skill to fight people. It's always to defend. It's always, when required. So yeah, you will have to do that. And um, the main thing is always, shifting your focus. You have to shift your focus from the narcissist, from the flying monkeys, from all the incidents that happened, from all the suffering that you went through. It is there. I mean, no one is denying it. It is there. But when you decide to heal, it's a decision to move away from that. It's that decision that makes you want to heal, because you have been there, and you have, probably spent some time in those things. And after some time, you get bored. You realize that I'm not moving anywhere from this place. So then that desire comes in you to, okay, now I need to get out of it. And it's the same thing. You might have faced a lot of failures in your life. We all have. Like, maybe there was a failed relationship, maybe not with a narcissist, but you have to get over it. Or maybe you really wanted a job but you could not get it, and then you're depressed for some time, but then you get over it and you start giving other interviews. So similarly, this is an experience in your life where it's true, you did suffer a lot, and you suffered from the people who should have loved you and should have nurtured you, and for whom you gave a lot of your time and energy. It's all true. But then there comes a time when you decide, okay, I have done this, but now I want to move on from here. So yeah, so I make a lot of these videos, and in all of these videos I'm kind of like a broken record about the importance of shifting your focus onto you. And that is because, for me, the narcissist in your life, whoever it was, the flying monkeys, whoever they are not important. To me, they are not. Whatever they did to you, even though it might sound a bit heartless right now, whatever they did to you is not important. It's not relevant. And why is it not relevant? Because those things to me mean less than, a chewing gum that is stuck at the bottom of my shoe. All those things. I know you have suffered a lot from those things, but the importance I place to those things is very, very less. I honor your suffering, but I don't give any importance to those things. So what I honor is the things you went through, is the emotions you went through. So those are important because those guide us to the next level. But the things they did, the things they said, whatever they had, whatever the things they did, the very things that they did are so low vibration, are so like, they are so low, that I do not want to spend my energy on that because they are irrelevant. Don't spend your energy on those things they did or the things they said. They are very, very small, they are very, very crude. Don't spend your time on that, and don't spend your time hating them or being angry on them. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your time. It's not worth your energy. So there is a phase for that, and you have been probably in that phase where you hated and you were angry. But after a point, you must have realized that those things were very, very of a very low vibration. You don't need to spend your time on that. So there are a lot of channels on YouTube which focus on hatred towards the narcissist. And I get the purpose of that. It's good, and at some point, it's good to hate on the narcissist, to put all your hate out. But if you keep yourself stuck in that phase, then it's not good for you. The narcissist is always going to remain a narcissist. There's no saving them unless, like, God himself or herself or creation does something for them. But there is potential in you. That is why the person who's important to me is you, who's the viewer of this channel. That's why I focus so much on what the viewer can do, instead of, oh, the narcissist did this and that and that, and how bad people they are. We know that there's no saving them. So the person who's trying to get over all the bad things that happened to them and who's trying to build a better today, that is the person who is in power. That is the person who makes a difference. That's a person who creates their own destiny because they realize we are the creators. We can change our surrounding by changing our internal dialogue, by changing our perspective, by shifting our focus. We can make a difference. We can change our world for the better. And you realize this in the small sense before, like you change your own personal world, and little by little, when the change comes to you, you will realize what an impact a human being can make on this world. And that's why I focus so much of my videos on what you can do. Because forget the narcissist, they can't do anything, they can't help themselves. You can't help them, no one can help them. So let's focus on something that we can help, which is ourselves. So every moment is a potential for a change, every moment in life, and it's never too late. And I think you all know that. That's why you all focus on healing, and that's a great thing. So yeah, that was this video on why some people say sorry a lot. And yep, I hope this helps you in some way, and I wish you all a lot of love and a lot of light. Thanks. Bye.